Dr. Schultz, I am honored to announce that members of the graduating class, the faculty and staff and administrators of the Chicago School are now present. All are gathered here for the 2023 commencement ceremony in Washington, D.C. Dr. Schultz.
Thank you, Dr. Barrett, and welcome. Please stand and face the United States flag for our national anthem. I'm Dr. Ted Scholes. I'm the Chief Academic Officer and Vice President of Academic Affairs at the Chicago School. It's my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome you to the Listener Auditorium for the Chicago School's commencement ceremony in Washington, D.C. Commencement is a wonderful tradition at the Chicago School, and we are honored to share it with you. As you share these memories with your friends and family on social media, please share them with us using the hashtag the Chicago School Grad 23. Now, please join me in welcoming the special guests we are honoring today. I ask that they rise as I call their names and remain standing. Dr. Michael Castaigne II, our representative of the graduating class. And Paul Andrew Dillon, our honorary degree recipient and commencement speaker. Thank you. Please be seated. Today marks a major milestone for our students. Your years of learning and growth, both inside and outside of the classroom, has brought you here today. But this is also a momentous day for all of you who are here to celebrate with our graduates, faculty, family, friends. I thank all of you for your unwavering support of our students throughout their academic journey here. I cannot wait to start today's celebrations. To begin, I would like to call forward Dr. Lance Garrison, Dean of the College of Professional Psychology, to introduce our honorary degree recipient.
I now have the honor of introducing Paul Andrew Dillon. Paul Andrew Dillon is a certified management consultant with more than 45 years of experience in the professional services industry. A U.S. Army Reserve veteran, he served in Vietnam as a first lieutenant and was awarded 2 Bronze Star medals. Mr. Dillon served for 9 years as a member of the Chicago School's Board of Trustees and was chair of the board's governance committee, among other board leadership positions. During his time as a trustee, He was instrumental in securing commencement speakers and honorary degree recipients for the school, such as former Illinois U.S. Senator Adlai E. Stevenson III and former U.S. Representative Patrick J. Kennedy. Paul is an adjunct instructor at the Sanford School of Public Policy at Duke University, where he created and teaches a course on veterans issues. He represents the nation's veteran community on the John Kennedy Forum on Mental Health and is a member of the Leadership Council of the Kennedy Forum, Illinois. There, he represents the veteran community in working to erase the stigma of mental illness among veterans and to ensure mental health parity for veterans receiving private sector care. He is the president and CEO of Dillon Consulting Services, LLC, and is the creator of the concept for Bunker Labs, a veteran startup incubator. Welcome, Paul. We're so glad for you to join us today. Dr. Scholes, it is my honor and my pleasure to present Paul Dillon for the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Chicago School, I hereby confer upon Paul Dillon the degree of Doctors of Humanities honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Wow, I wish my parents were alive to hear those kind words. My father would have been very proud, and my mother would have actually believed it. You know, I'm reminded of my father's admonition that flattery isn't lethal unless you inhale. So I'm going to refrain from taking some deep breaths. Distinguished faculty and staff, and of course, dear graduates and their families and friends, thank you so much for this great honor. I love this school. I truly do, and all that it does. So this honorary degree means a lot to me. Dear graduates, this is your day, not mine, but I've been asked to say a few words to you, and that I shall do. But I want to stress a few words. I want to tell you what I've learned from serving as a trustee for 9 years at this wonderful institution, besides the complexity, challenges, and hard work that goes into successfully leading and managing a fine school like this. And for all of that hard work and superior competency, we should all be thankful to the administrators, faculty, and staff who are gathered with us today. The work that you're going to be doing will change lives. Under the patient tutelage of Dr. Jennifer Thompson from the Chicago campus, I learned how positive psychology can greatly influence a person's life. As Colin Powell once said, perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. And I learned the tremendous impact that cognitive behavioral therapy can have. Those are just two examples. And finally, I learned, or should I say, had reinforced in me, since I was already aware of this, that it is people like you, people who dedicate their lives to the welfare of others, like you're going to do as you embark upon your career, are the happiest and most contented people whom I've ever known. I truly believe that. Now, I have to tell you, saying that I'm no Pollyanna. I worked for more than 47 years at accounting and consulting firms in Chicago. I understand the importance of making a good living. We've been placed in this temporal world, after all, and are supposed to not only take care of ourselves, but to take care of those who can't take care of themselves. And in that regard, as you enter this wonderful profession, you will need to advocate for yourselves and through your professional associations for compensation that befits the very necessary and important counseling, coaching, consulting, and care that you're going to provide to others. It is possible to do well and to do good at the same time. These aren't mutually exclusive concepts. But while money is important, as the columnist Tom Friedman once wrote, vision without resources is hallucination. It's not the most important thing, in my opinion. The most important thing, as I noted, is to lead a life for others. A life devoted to the welfare of others is a life well lived. Maxwell Taylor Kennedy, in a nifty little book entitled Make Gentle the Life of This World, The Vision of Robert F. Kennedy, quotes his father as writing, "Another great task is to confront the poverty of satisfaction, a lack of purpose and dignity that inflicts us all. Too much and too long we seem to have surrendered community excellence and community values in the mere accumulation of material things." And in the wonderful newsletter published by the Royal Bank of Canada, of all places, in an article entitled "The Call for Volunteers," the author states in part, "One of the mainstays of society, after all, is the common understanding that the stronger must share their strength with the weaker. There could be no social order if the community interest did not come before purely selfish pursuits. The religions which did so much to establish that social order in the first place have always stressed that the individual has an obligation to his fellow human beings. The concept of mutual support is implicit in every major religious belief." And that is exactly what you're going to be doing, isn't it? Sharing your strength, your knowledge that you've gained here with those who need your services. And in this important work that you're going to be doing, you're certainly going to put the interests of the community ahead of your own. My God, what wonderful people you are. Go forth now and change the world. Through your enthusiasm, your energy, and the power of your intellect. Heal the sick, comfort the sorrowful, and shed the warm light of hope on all those who suffer in the darkness of despair. And know that while you're doing this wonderful work, that I shall be with you all days in spirit, with all of my heart, with all of my mind, and with all of my soul. God bless each and every one of you, and my best wishes to you for every success. Thank you for this great honor.
Good morning. I am Dr. Alicia DeWalt, Dean of the College of Graduate and Professional Studies. One of the many traditions, institutions of higher learning is to hear from one of our graduates. I am thrilled to present David Castaigne as the representative of our graduating class. Dr. David Castaigne is a serial entrepreneur, travel influencer, philanthropist, and licensed life coach. He's a TED Talk speaker who's on the Forbes list, and he's one of the top 100 most influential people on behalf of the United Nations. Dr. Castaigne holds a bachelor's from Howard University, a master's from Georgetown University, and is now a graduate of the Chicago School with a PhD in business psychology. He is a member of Kappa Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, the Society for Collegiate Leadership and Achievement, Alpha Kappa Delta International Honor Society, and Lambda Pi Eta National Communication Association Honor Society. Dr. Castaigne is the founder of David Castaigne and Associates, a conceptual marketing firm that leverages the principles of psychology to address issues involved in growth. Committed to giving back to the community, he created the David Castaigne Foundation, geared towards changing the future of those at risk through mental health, education, social assistance, and rehabilitation. Dr. Castaigne recognizes the impact that motivation, behavior, cognition, emotions, and psychological well-being have on every facet of human life. The customs, social norms, and coping mechanisms encountered in his travels shed light on the intricate relationship between psychology and human development around the world. Please join me in welcoming David Michael Castaigne II to the podium.
"58. 58 countries and 19 times around the globe is how far I've traveled to explore the depths of human psychology. My grandmother would say, "You know where you've been, but you don't know where you're going." A quote that I now understand. She would never have imagined that I would leave the city, let alone the country. My grandmother was raised in a shack with no electricity or running water. She was one of two among 17 siblings to graduate from high school. I was raised in low-income housing by an unstoppable single mother of 5. She did whatever was necessary to make ends meet. Nothing about me is traditional. But today, I'm a first-generation college student and the first doctor across my entire family lineage. If my story seems unique, it's not. Some of us come from wealthy families, some of us don't. And some of us are immigrants whose parents moved to this country with nothing. However, we've all defied the odds, beat statistics, and came out triumphant at some point in life. If you feel like you haven't, today's your lucky day. According to the census, 23% of our nation has a bachelor's as their highest level of education. 14% have a master's, and only 2% have a doctorate. At this very moment, we're all defying the odds by earning this degree. It's something that many people may never accomplish. My name is David Castaigne. Excuse me, Dr. David Castaigne. On behalf of my fellow graduates, I'd like to thank the esteemed faculty. I'd like to thank our friends, our proud family, and all those who provided support during these challenging years of hard work, perseverance, and sacrifice. You provided encouragement and belief when we struggled with setbacks, rejections, and failures. Many of you have dreamed bigger for us than we ever did for ourselves. It's a profound honor to make those dreams a reality and fulfill the aspirations that you hold for us. Graduates, today is a day of immense pride, gratitude, and fulfillment. It symbolizes both the end as well as the beginning of an incredible journey down a road of overwhelming obstacles that leads to growth and legacy. The Chicago School is a catalyst for greatness, where the impossible is made plausible by all who seek it, where stereotypes are shattered and the astronomical possibilities will take you as far as your imagination can go. Being graduates of this institution means we've demonstrated confidence in our ability to think outside the box and adapt to change while spending countless hours studying, researching, writing, and presenting. We've become stronger and more resilient, gaining knowledge and expertise. We grew as individuals with a deeper understanding of ourselves, discovering our passions and our purpose. We focused our academic pursuits on dissecting the complexities of the human mind and behavior, but not without assistance from our faculty, whose wisdom, guidance, and mentorship have been invaluable in shaping us into the individuals we are today. And let us not forget our classmates, who were the backbone of our experience and are now lifelong friends. The cap on our heads and the gowns draped over our shoulders represent royalty. But heavy is the head that wears the crown. Graduating from this illustrious university comes with a great deal of responsibility. We are called to commit to the pursuit of excellence by embodying education, innovation, service, and community, the core values that define our institution. That means embracing diversity, serving our communities, and sharing knowledge with the next generation for the betterment of society. My fellow graduates, as you enter your legacy phase and venture off on this journey with these guiding principles as your compass, be sure to evolve into better versions of yourself and emerge as trailblazers, leaders, visionaries, and intellectual agents of change. Class of 2023, set your sights high, take risk, never stop learning, and never give up. Because people like us are living proof that anything is in fact possible. And let me be clear, I did not earn this degree for myself. I earned this degree for the people who look like me. May our paths cross again in the pursuit of our dreams. Congratulations. I love you, Chicago School!
Class of 2023, it is my great honor and privilege to celebrate with you and your loved ones today and to welcome you into our Chicago School alumni community. As we reflect on your last few years of your time here at the Chicago School, it is a truly amazing journey to behold. Regardless of your program of study, you came here to spark change, be it for yourself, your family, or your community. You work tirelessly, juggling coursework with your professional lives and your personal responsibilities. I hope that you take some time to reflect on what today's diploma signifies. Not just your classroom learning, but your unwavering commitment to the betterment of your communities, even in the face of an endless balancing act of life's responsibilities. Most importantly, as students, you not only collect information about your field, but you set out to use that information to serve those around you. Your steadfast commitment to change and to equity reminds me of the teachings of the great Dr. Martin Luther King. As Dr. King once wrote, intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. As Dr. King highlights, it's not enough to just gain knowledge, to sit in classrooms and gather up facts and figures about your field. This is not education. Education is putting that knowledge to work for upstanding ends, using it to make a real difference for others. In other words, the power of great education is not just in the classroom or outside of it. We need both experiences to make the most of our opportunities. Throughout your time here at the Chicago School, you have lived out the best of Dr. King's values, using your discoveries in the classroom to fuel your impact outside of it. You spent countless hours out in the community making an impact before you've even received your diplomas today. Working in clinics to talk community members through life's most pressing challenges, and partnering with growing organizations to help them fully achieve their loftiest goals. This work was certainly taxing, both physically and mentally. But for your commitment to make your communities better from day one, even considering these challenges, I applaud you. Looking ahead, I challenge you to keep Dr. King's teachings echoing inside your head as you chart the next steps in your journey as a community-focused change maker. Think not of just what you learned here, but also why you learned it. Keep your passion for equity and justice as your professional compass in the months and years ahead. Equipped with the sense of direction and purpose, I know that you will find a way to make a lasting impact. No matter what is beyond the horizon for you, I'm confident that your unique combination of know-how and grit will spell countless accomplishments and successes. I look forward to the pride that your work to serve as a voice for the voiceless and an advocate for the marginalized will bring to us as a university community. Whether it's changing communities for the better as a psychologist, a counselor, an HR professional, or a business leader, I know that you have the resolve needed to be a positive light for those around you, leading the way towards equity. As you receive your diplomas today, recognize that these are not mere pieces of paper. These are contracts that you have, that you've been signing piece by piece all throughout your Chicago School journey. By taking on the title of Chicago School alumni, you commit yourselves to living out Dr. King's vision that education signifies both your intelligence and your character. Now is the time to fuse those forces together to realize your wildest change-making dreams. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Christian Sivljak, Associate Professor in the Business Ecology Division and Chair of the National Faculty Council. We shall now proceed with the presentation of candidates for degrees. Each candidate has been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees to receive the degree indicated in the program and on their diploma, subject to the completion of all degree requirements. In order for each graduate's name to be heard clearly, I respectfully ask that the audience please hold applause until the end. Thank you.
We will begin by announcing the candidates from the College of Graduate and Professional Studies, starting with the Master of Arts in Applied Behavior Analysis. Dr. Middleman, I invite you to congratulate your students. Brian Contreras. Taylor Lewis. Amir Nezaham Shahidi. Eric Busmante. We will now announce the candidates for the Master of Science in Applied Behavior Analysis. Aurora Darko. Stephen Irving. Julissa Arias. Darielle Joseph. We will now announce the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy, Applied Behavior Analysis. I invite Dr. McGrath and Mahoney forward to hood their students. Jessica Lizeth Fuller. Mindful Parenting and its role in the parental engagement of socially important behaviors. Grecia Gaviria. Reinforcer effectiveness in dogs, a pair stimulus and progressive ratio comparison. Amanda Cash. An evaluation of the effectiveness and social validity of using an intervention package which combines flashcards, precision teaching, and accountability partners to teach educators terms related to behavior planning. Heidi Lutz. Classroom management in the high school setting, the effects of training teachers on opportunities to respond. Ashley Knockel, school-based professional coaching on facilitation of the Prevent, Teach, Reinforce for Young Children, PTR-YC, model for children with challenging behavior in Kenya. Nicole Aliyah Rahim, an additive effect of interteaching and SAF meds on learning psychiatry and behavior analysis. We will now announce the candidates for the Master of Arts in Industrial and Organizational Psychology. I invite Dr. Renee Roman forward to congratulate your students. Zaria Butler. Mark Hightower. Elizabeth Tilton. Alexandra Broner. Nikita Narima. Chanel Francine Shaw. Koshita Lachey Cavers. Kai Marlene Vaughn. We will now announce the candidate for the dual degree Master of Arts in Industrial and Organizational Psychology and Master of Legal Studies. Jerika Turner Lewis. We will now announce the candidate for the Master of Arts Organizational Leadership. Amy Ellen Wallace. We will now announce the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy, Organizational Leadership. William Monday. A phenomenological study of transformational leadership and change agent behavior in the Army Recruiting Command. Lisa Lintner, the values do not end with me on middle managers' utilization of core value statements. Samuel Delp, a phenomenological approach to understand the transition experience from student to graduate paramedic. Michael Rogers, the lived experience of the bullied federal manager, a phenomenological study. Janine Ratcliffe, the lived experiences of former Employee Resource Group, ERG leaders with knowledge sharing from executive sponsors. Melissa Elizabeth Wynn, an exploration of career identity integration for African American women faculty in the STEM disciplines. Rachel Reynolds, ambidextrous leadership in nonprofit organizations. Orlayenka Creighton Randall. Quote, I am because we are, unquote, using Ubuntu to build organizational communities as Black women servant leaderships, or leaders, sorry. We will now announce the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy, Business Psychology. I invite Dr. Roman and Dr. Civiljak forward to hood their students. Erica Bukhar, involuntary remote work, a transcendental phenomenological examining the lived experiences of office-based workers undergoing an unplanned change event. David Michael Castaigne II. The differences in Instagram branding strategies, leadership, and decision-making competency in business practices between Millennial and Generation Z entrepreneurs in the Western United States. Katrina Dixon. Perceptions of nonprofit transformational school leaders, the journey to conflict resolution. Jameis McNeil. Toward an understanding of founders' transformational reaction syndrome. We will now announce the candidates for the Master of Arts Clinical Mental Health Counseling. I invite Dr. Foster and Dr. Moore Reynolds forward to congratulate your students. Aisha Khan. Come back. Nicole Zabazaja. Asley Strong King. Jessica Fiedler. Taylor Roney. Malena Oberg. Ashley Hendricks. Ashley Hendricks. Monica Gillespie. Naya Benefield Jones. You can go right up here. Jessica Jarvis. Daniel Jossen. Miko Zupants. Lydia Grebe. Fatima Mohammed Dean. Miranda Jones. Melissa Wilgamuth. Urmi Danilal. Kara Marie Rezegui. Freeland Jones. Jenna Elwell. Brianna Amir Floyd. Gabriella Moina. June Thappa. Dominique Wright. Aaliyah Emmanuel. David Akundayo Cole Jr. Brittany Lewis Fuchs. You can go right here. Emily Button. Leon Fisher. Charles Wright Jr. Leah Rabalado. Sydney Warren. Stephanie Sanabria. Serenity Williams. Aaliyah Costley. Kari Baltimore. We will now announce the candidate for the Doctor of Education, Educational Psychology and Technology. I invite Dr. DeWalt and Dr. McGrath forward to hood your student. Courtney Dowling, Social Emotional Learning, a teacher's perspective of utilizing this teacher practice. You can go here. We will now announce the candidates for the Master of Arts International Psychology. I invite Dr. Grace forward to congratulate your students. Bakthavar Mehdi. Lauren Renee Mapp. We will now announce the candidate for the Doctor of Philosophy, International Psychology. I invite Dr. Grace and Dr. McGrath to hood your students. You can grab. Savannah Elenikina. An interpretive phenomenological study on understanding the impact of mentorship on leadership development in young adults in South Africa. Brenda Thompson. Brenda T. Thompson. International Exploration, Building Safety and Repairing Harm in Ghana, West Africa. Elizabeth King, Integrating Health, Exploring Nigerians' Perceptions of the United States Healthcare System. Salandra Johnson, Perception of Traditional Healing for Mental Health Disorders in the Dominican Republic. Robin Usher, Pilot Study of Reliability and Validity of a Stakeholder Analysis System for Health Intervention Planning for Inuit of Kalalit Nunat. Harold Taylor, Public Perceptions of the Leadership Qualities in Response to COVID-19, a Comparative Study, Thailand and the United States. Tiara Carter, Storytelling as a Means of Resilience for Black South African Women. Alexis Marie Egan, Group Threat and Intergenerational Views Towards Refugees in Northern Ireland. Iris Margarita Rivera, Examining Dominican Folk Knowledge and Practices Used as Self-Care During Crises in the Dominican Republic. You can go right here. Simone Blanchard, Understanding the Impact of Depression on Youth-Headed Household Members of Rwanda. Danielle McWhirter, Collectivism versus Individualism, a cross-cultural analysis of the intersectional experience in the workplace through the lens of Black womanhood in the US and Spain. We will now announce the candidates for the Master of Arts, Applied Psychology. I invite Dr. DeWalt forward to congratulate your students. You can go right here. Juanice Cooper. Wanda Logan. Victoria Zimmer. Yannick Taylor. We will now announce the candidate for the Master of Arts Psychology. Gabriel Setter. Astrid Crivello. Kendra Nicole Hill. Farah Azad. Mariah Harris. We will now announce the candidate for the Master of Public Health. Danita Richardson Moon. Morin, okay. We will conclude by announcing the candidates from the College of Professional Psychology, starting with the Master of Arts, Clinical Psychology. I invite Dr. Schiff and Dr. Morin forward to congratulate your students. Corin Harrodson. Jacqueline Marisol Escobar. Ashley Marie Rivera. Joshua Putman. You can go right here. Janelle Techi Micah. Alyssa Gray. Kriti Jain. Rachel Garrison. Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson. Angelique Kennedy. Caitlin Hannah. Caitlin Hannah. Gara Appling. Gara Appling. We will now announce the candidate for the Doctor of Psychology, Clinical Psychology. Stia Lene Williams. Recommendations for addressing parental history of childhood abuse and parent-child interaction therapy, PCIT. Lindsay Lavero. The integration of play therapy via telehealth. Annie Lascano Saba. The impact of intergenerational trauma as triggered by immigration trauma on the parent-child relationship of first-generation Latino immigrants. Rachel Baines. Relationship quality and health-related support in individuals diagnosed with premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Carolina Fernandez. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on compassion fatigue in healthcare workers. Andy Liddy. Correlates of health behavioral change during COVID-19, the role of personality, self-efficacy, and resilience. Melissa Carlin. Exploration of grit and social support as predictors of developmental post-traumatic growth in healthcare workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay. I invite Dr. Barrett forward to hood your student. Alexandra Ercoli. Attitudes towards sex trafficking and sex trafficked persons amongst helping professionals, a systematic like review. Aaliyah Gibbons, a proposed theory of bisexual identity development. I invite Dr. Fedio forward to hood your students. Marina Dekarchuk, processing speed and academic fluency in childhood survivors of acute lymphoblastic leukemia treated with chemotherapy only. Joshua Klein, self-esteem and job satisfaction in adults with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Amandeep Grewal, self-esteem and loneliness in individuals with mild to moderate brain injury. Ariella Labicki, group therapy for enhanced symptom improvement following acquired brain injury. I invite Dr. Gadzikowski forward to hood your students. Matthew Carter, who is helping the helpers, exploring the barriers to psychology graduate students taking their own medicine. Waltrina Stansell, the impact of social media use on the mental health and well-being of African American adolescent females. Captain Dayton Sly, a systematic review of interventions to decrease socially unacceptable sensation-seeking and dangerous risk-taking behaviors in service members. Fatima Akbari, parental attitude on mental health and its effect on parent-child relationship. Shaquana Renee Anderson, traditional versus modern teaching methods among special education students and enhancing students' self-concept, a comprehension literature review. Jamise DeCoster Edmonds, motivation for physical activity amongst Black women. I invite Dr. Johnson forward to hood your students. Brittany Adams. The impact of absent African American fathers, adult daughters, and intimate relationships. Sana Khalid. The difference in marital satisfaction between South Asian arranged versus love marriages. Devon Maurer, how to apply and integrate the four-phase Fennel model of chronic illness with cognitive behavior therapy to treat African American women with sarcoidosis and depression, a systematic review. I invite Dr. Lally forward to hood your students. Megan Aylward, the predictive utility of self-report measures on juvenile recidivism, a systematic literature review. Brittany Vasquez, officer-involved shooting statistics and mental health in the United States. I invite Dr. Lilienfeld forward to hood your student. Angelica McLinden, examining the importance and impact of social identity on women who have experienced sexual assault. I invite Dr. Lynch forward to hood your student. Taline Avadisian Hirovich, History of Childhood Maltreatment, Breaking the Integrational Cycle, a comprehensive literature review. Captain Lawrence McLean, Attachment Styles and Attachment Disorders, the Potential for Disaster in Military Children. I invite Dr. Moore Lobain forward to hood your student. Captain Tremaine Miller Harris, Black mothers' responses to raising Black children within a culture of brutality. I invite Dr. Nasrat forward to hood your students. Ruchi Pandey, Stigma Against Indian Women Survivors of Sexual Violence. Shabnan Furazin. Predictive factors of adolescent suicide from high-achieving families. I invite Dr. Rizzo forward to hood your student. Dr. Alana Bean, the impact of loneliness on mental health in Bermuda. I invite Dr. Sachs forward to hood your student. Radia J. Hill, examining the pathways to crime in previously incarcerated Black women in the U.S. and their perspectives on mental health intervention. Megan Thomas, exploring the mental health effects the COVID-19 pandemic has on a group of teachers in the U.S. Iana Knighton, sex trafficking, historical roots, current issues, and recommendations for victim recovery. I invite Dr. Scherer forward to hood your student. Lindsay Burdett, acceptance and commitment therapy as a treatment for racial trauma. Rachel Thomas, factors influencing retention and opioid use disorder treatment. Prerna Talani, assessing disparities in medical health and criminal justice systems post-sexual assault. Sergeant First Class Deborah Zolotov, impact of post-traumatic stress disorder on the quality of familial interactions among soldiers who were deployed. Captain Lexus Gerard Crenshaw, what happens in this house does not stay in this house. Examining the relationship between cultural mistrust and mental health help-seeking behaviors amongst African Americans. I invite Dr. Sheeran forward to hood your students. Dipana Jane, Community violence in high-risk neighborhoods, the moderating effect of parenting in the mental health of urban youth. Anisha Perkins. It runs in the family, exploring the transmission of generational patterns in Black women. I was like, is that right? Jonisha Hickson. The Ujima model, the alchemy of Black American activists. It's Juliet. Juliet Quarting. The lived experience of economic hardships among single Black mothers, an interpretive phenomenological analysis. Nicole Woodard. Differentiating borderline personality disorder from bipolar disorder, a systematic review of current literature. I invite Dr. Walsh forward to hood your students. Haley Jones. Can psychopathy be treated through psychotherapeutic intervention, a systematic review of current literature? Brittany Chu. Mental health barriers and help-seeking attitudes in mental illness among East and South Asians. Brittany Beloy, The Utility of the Psychopathy Checklist Revised, PCLR, a meta-analysis review of construct validity. Sarah Muscolino, Understanding Schizophrenia Through Parent-Specific Factors, a comprehensive review of the literature. Victoria Ann Dancero Ryan. The Etiology of Violent Sexual Fantasy, Discerning Violence from BDSM and Kink. Kylie Campbell. Diagnostic and Therapeutic Considerations of Psychogenic Non-Epileptic Seizures for Healthcare Professionals. We will now announce the candidates for the Master of Arts Counseling Psychology. I invite Dr. Garrison forward to congratulate your student. Dr. Garrison? We're good, okay. Danielle Champin. Anyekanchi Anyekwer. We will now announce the candidates for the Master of Arts Forensic Psychology. I invite Dr. McMillan and Dr. Lillenjendal forward to congratulate your students. Athena Campbell. Emma Mattingly. Caitlin Black. Uma Thorlu Bengura. Lori Mead. Delia Machuca. Kiel Johnson. Nathalie Almonte. Vaishnavihi Sejadri. Danielle Sarpong. Tatiana Rommel. Bailey Gardunia. Kayla Wallington. Carolyn Passerb. Daniela Romero. Ashley Mejia. Mirshelle Edwards. Jamila Gibson. Joy Sumler. Jazera Jewel Mariana Pittman. Chelsea Bald. We will now announce the candidate for the dual degree Master of Arts in Forensic Psychology and Master of Legal Studies. Christiana Bueno. This concludes the presentation of graduates.
Will all candidates please rise? Thank you. Dr. Schultz, on behalf of the faculty of the Chicago School, I present to you these candidates who have been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees to receive the degree indicated, subject to the completion of all requirements, and respectfully request that you confer upon them the degrees for which they are qualified.
I would be happy to. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Chicago School and by the District of Columbia, I hereby confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified, with all the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors thereunto pertaining. I invite all the graduates to turn and show their appreciation to the people who have helped them make this moment possible.
I'm Dr. Siobhan Moore Laban. Campus Director for the Washington, D.C. campus. All graduates and faculty, please rise. We're going to recite the Oath of Affirmation and Diversity. Please locate the oath on page 18 of the Commencement program. Raise your right hand and recite with me in unison. Other professionals may also join us to reaffirm the oath. I hereby affirm that I shall discharge the responsibilities of my profession in a manner consistent with respect for dignity and worth of individuals and communities, that I shall strive for the preservation and protection of the fundamental human rights, that I shall seek to understand knowledge of human behavior, cultures, and experiences to increase self-understanding and understanding of others, and that I shall use such knowledge for the promotion of dignity and human rights, that I shall seek to embrace the profession's commitment to understand and respect individual, social, sexual, and cultural differences, that I shall diligently protect the human rights of those who seek my services, and that I shall use my skills only for the furtherance of human rights and the integrity of the individual, that I shall strive to acknowledge and remove systemic barriers that prevent the ability of groups, individuals, and organizations to access services that promote the well-being of all, that I shall well and truly recognize the traditions, ethics, and boundaries of my profession, and that I shall subscribe to these traditions and ethics freely and upon my honor, As a representative of the Chicago school community, I hereby affirm to actively participate in the learning and professional community by embracing its commitment to understanding and respect individual, social, contextual, and cultural differences. As such, I will seek to gain knowledge of human differences that I may increase my understanding of self and others. And I will seek to build an environment of mutual respect and inclusion where all are valued.
Congratulations to our graduating students and welcome to our alumni family. This concludes the 2023 commencement exercises in Washington, D.C. Guests, please remain seated until all faculty and graduates have exited the auditorium. Thank you.